God bless you, God TV family. Welcome to the beautiful sunshine here at Big Church Festival here with Carrie and with Lindz from LZ7.
Come on.
Come on, Lindz. What's it like to be here in the beautiful sunshine?
I mean, you can't not like the sunshine. Two things. I'm glamping, so I feel like I've slept on a tennis racket.
Yeah.
So I'm dehydrated. You gave me 10 minutes, so I sat back in the sun and just, I feel like a
say, this is how you remain so tanned.
Completely new man.
You utilised that 5 minutes brilliantly. I was very impressed. Well done.
It is,
Marvellous.
I mean, what a place, what a vibe. It's amazing, it's
and
lovely.
Sold out at 35,000. We're broadcasting it across the nations, and our prayer is that all the amazing, amazing stuff that's going on right here somehow through media magically translate to front living rooms all around the world.
Yeah, come on. I mean, you're supposed to be part of it, aren't you? So if you're there and you don't reach out and touch the screen or do anything weird like that. Just get up and have a party and have a dance and have a worship. That's the thing.
Turn up the volume.
So what are you doing at Big Church? Come on, tell us.
I run a charity called Light, and I run a record label called Light, and we run this thing called Illuminate High Schools Tours. So the Illuminate stage is the shop window to the church about the high schools tours. So all the artists that play on there will be involved with us in some way. We go into high schools, deliver Key Stage 3 and 4, PSHE, religious education, anti-suicide, bullying, knife crime, anything the schools are going through. But we say to the young people here, it's like, if you're at the stage, get us in your school. If you're a governor, a teacher, a kid, and you want us to come and deliver this in your school,
incredible.
End of the week, put a gig on in their town, in their city, exactly what you see at the Illuminate stage, preach the gospel, and then lead them into Youth Alpha. And I take the next Youth Alpha. So it kind of leads them on.
My
That's
word, so you're just changing the world, quite literally, one school at a time. Can you share one little story that you've seen the effect and impact of what you've done in schools so far? A little story that you might have.
So there was a girl who came up on main stage yesterday. Her name's Alicia. She was in Bath. This is 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And our whole thing is like, it's a mosh pit. Like, it's just dance music. And I'm saying to young people, listen, you don't need to be taking loads of stuff to have a good time. You've got 350 bones, joints in your body. Yeah. You don't need a load of kit and a load of stuff that you don't need to dance it. This is what it's all about, right? Beautiful. Just worshipping Jesus in a different way. So the mosh pit's going, and on the front row, there's a lady stood like this, watching her daughter. And I look down, and I'm like, she's too old to be in the mosh pit. I mean, she's like, what? Why is she there? Preach the gospel. Following week, I go back to Bath, and I started the Youth Alpha, and a couple of hundred kids turned up. In walks this little girl that I could see that was in the arms of this lady, very kind of frail and dainty. And she sat down, and I said, "Are you all right?" She said, "Yeah." And I said, "Is that your mum at the back?" And she said, "Yeah." So I walked over to Claire, her mum, started chatting, and she told me her story. She said, "You came in on Monday, and it was, Alicia thought that the whole thing was going to be dead. Christians coming in with a band, and it's drum and bass, and it's EDM, and it's trap, and it's like party music." She came to the gig on Friday night, but she's got this disorder where her organs eat themselves.
Wow.
And her bones are so brittle that if she gets knocked in class, they'll snap. So I have to stand there in the mosh pit in case she gets knocked, right? So I was like, what does that mean? She says she's never going to get to adulthood. She's not going to get to 20. I was like, no way. Anyway, sat there, did the first Alpha, and I present and hand it over to the local youth pastor, and then bit by bit, drip feed it into them. So I'm like the foster dad that does this, right? Amazing. Alicia comes back the following week. I go back the next week, see her. Claire comes up to me and she says, we've just done her doctor's test, her 3-monthly test. And the doctor's just said to her, what happened on this Friday night, on this date? And she said, I went to a gig. And he goes, no, what happened? Something happened, didn't it? And the doctor's asking, and she said, well, I had this band LZ7 come in, and I became a Christian. Like, I gave my life to Jesus. And he said, well, on that date, every single symptom is in reverse.
Come on.
It's completely in reverse.
Joking?
No, it's reversing.
Oh my, thank you, Jesus.
So her mum and Alicia are here now, and she got up on the stage and shared her story yesterday, and the whole crowd is just like...
Just dumbfounded.
Now, if you can imagine one kid like that, honestly, we are seeing hundreds of thousands each year come to know Jesus. And now and I moved back to London to build a partnership with Alpha so that we can siphon them into Youth Alpha. So it basically equips the local church. It's no more hands up, see you later. It's hands up, now I'm part of the journey. And now you're looking after Alicia's and you're looking after thousands of other young people that are saying, I want to know hope and I want to know hope in Jesus. So that's what we're seeing week in, week out.
My word.
So when they talk about a quiet revival...
Yeah.
Oh, it's not quiet.
It's not quiet.
And but to be honest, the quiet revival bit it's amazing that the Holy Spirit's doing something. Yeah. But we've been seeing this for years. But what we haven't seen is the church being able to look after. Imagine 400 brand new, never been into church, scally kids turn up to your church and they're vaping in the toilets, they're kissing everybody, they're trying to nick all your computers. Like the church is going, what have you just done to me? Like you just dropped a bomb. Now I'm like, okay, I've dropped a bomb. Now I'm going to be part of the walkthrough,
it's
the discipleship.
Yeah. I think that's the thing I get excited about, is knowing we're actually creating more campuses around the journey of revival.
There you go.
There's the spark, and then there's keeping it burning, and the intimacy with God, which does have to be more local.
Of course.
And I love to hear that. That's amazing.
We had this epiphany when I've adopted 2 little ones.
Have you?
And
so many
my little boy
conversations
was 10, and his foster mum walked in the room, and he did this. And he just stared at her, and I was like, "Are you all right?" And he said, "Yeah. Why do I know her? Why do I have?" I said, "You got feelings?" And he went, "Yeah. Who is she?" I said, "That's Sarah. That's your foster mum. She loved you. She clothed you. She fed you. She looked after you, and then she handed you on to your forever family, us. So we call ourselves Forever Family. When you were like 10 months old, and it hit me like a wave. I was like, I'm the foster dad.
That's so good.
I'm setting these kids up for their forever family in the church, so I've got to be part of their journey. And it's no, I can't just disappear. So for the first 2 years of his life, she would visit him, and slowly drip feed him into us. Does that make sense? Like hand him over.
Absolutely.
And that's what I was like. Our ministry is the foster parents that in the schools work. Now, don't get me wrong. We do the mainstream releases. We do the Radio 1, Charlie Hedges dance anthem. She'll play our tracks, and Kiss FM will play it. But then you walk into a school and the kid's Googling us, and he's going, actually, you're actually doing bits. Like, this is credible. It's not dead. Like, this is amazing. And the songs are written, as a Christian, you'd get it. Yeah. But as a non-Christian, you're like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, what?
Something's different.
Something's different in it. But I'm not putting Jesus and God in every single bar. No. There is some. But at the same time, I'm like keeping that door open in the mainstream so that we can literally reach into that world where young people are.
So how do the mums and dads, how do our generation work with you? How do the churches that you've suddenly dumped a whole bunch of kids on, how do we work with you to be part of that gathering?
Yeah. I'll give you an example, right? We put a flyer on everybody's seat. It's a little A5 flyer for the kids when they walk in. Yeah. On the front, it's got all the gig details. At the bottom, it says free parents area. So we're building free parents areas for year 7 and 8 dads that want to be there, that don't want to let their kids, if I had a band come in and my 13-year-old, I'd be like, I'm going to pick you up and drop you off. In fact, I want to come in and see what this is about.
So good.
So we build these areas, and these lads and dads, mums and dads, are walking in with little gin and tonics in their flask on a Friday night, and they might have a screen or they might be on the balcony, and they're sat there, and I'll go in and chat to them and say, hey, I've been in your school, your kids are amazing. They're like, I've never seen anything like this. You get to the response, and the mums and dads are responding. So in Peterborough, we had to set up an alpha for mums and dads who'd been up in the top, and they're coming up shaking my hand saying, if I'd heard Jesus like this when I was a kid, I'd be a Christian now, bro.
That's so true.
I'd be involved.
So true. Because I was desperate for someone like you when I was younger, and I became an atheist in my 20s because I didn't have anything I could really relate to. I liked being cool. I liked going to the clubs.
Yeah, there you go.
But then I was struggling to be able, I felt like I was living 2 worlds.
Yeah.
And so I love that you're bringing them together. You're bridging.
And this is where parents our age can get involved.
Yeah.
Is help them with the alpha. So get a DBS check, get yourself worked out. When you hear about a tour that's coming along, stick yourself in a yellow tab on and pray for your kids in the mosh pit, and then get involved with the parents upstairs. So.
Okay, I got a really sort of dumb question. How do we multiply you? I mean, what do we do? Do we like put a little bit of your DNA and just sort of make more of you? Because this is absolutely epic.
Well, we're trying to take on new artists. Yeah. So we just set up a new band called Saints. And I call them Young Z7. They're like a younger version of me.
Okay.
And I'm really trying to drip feed that kind of passion. Passion over cynicism all day. Like passionate people change the world. Yes. And if you're passionate for the gospel, you're going to change something. There's 2 or 3 of them in the band that are really passionate about young people. And they've been kind of under our wing for a couple of years, started at the end of COVID. And now they're getting launched out so we can double our impact. So when we go to a city, it's not 7 schools, it's 15. And now I want to triple it. And then when we get to Bristol, we're going to do 40 schools. We've got to find 4 other artists that are going to feel this and do this and, train them up and get them ready. So, yes, I'm always on the lookout. So if you are a passionate evangelist, you can rap, you can sing, you can dance.
You should audition.
Come give me a shout.
Okay, God TV family. We have known here at God TV LZ7 and Lindz for 20
years,
plus years. What they are doing here in the UK is absolutely epic. Lindz, we honor you. And by the way, there's a whole other side to you and your wonderful wife and the ministry that you have as a couple and the adoption. Patricia and I are involved in the foster care system, blah, 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 blah. Carrie, very much
I
involved
was
in
a
the foster
foster
care
mum in
system.
America.
Wow, come on.
It needs to be pushed.
Come on.
We want to be active. We
Yeah.
want to
Yeah.
be fruitful
Absolutely.
in our faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, would you call us to action? We're here at Big Church Festival. We're having an amazing time. Hopefully you're enjoying all the great acts that are coming on throughout this weekend. Watch it on the, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But would you call us to action that when these kids go back to school
Yeah.
a week or so from now, that it's not just a summer thing?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a life change thing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that Carrie's journey is
Yeah.
not replicated
That's it,
into her
that's it.
20s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in fact, she becomes that passionate person. He becomes that passionate person.
Yeah,
Change
yeah.
the world. Talk to the mums and dads.
I think everybody's got a story, and people tend to negate their story. And you think, oh no, my story doesn't matter. I don't have a testimony. And I was similar to you. Like I disappeared off and went into
Yeah.
the clubs and, lived that kind of life.
Yeah.
But the thing is about your story is that your story, when you become a Christian, it becomes history, which becomes his story. So his story then works through you, and what he's done in your life and what Jesus has done then drip feeds off you. I think we've got an adopted boy, 13, we just talked about a second ago. If I'm nagging him the whole time, what am I going to get? Boom, I'm just going to get this reaction. But if
Yeah.
I'm drip feeding little bits and pieces into him and just being that calm mentor, that calm person that is carrying the light of Jesus to him, bit by bit, he's going to get arrested by Jesus at some point. Now, it might not be me. I'm fine with that. It could be someone else. But we've written a song called Descend, and it's got Billy Graham on the second verse.
Yes.
And he talks about, Lord, do it again. Lord, do it again. Lord, do it again. And I just think, if that's the prayer over the next generation, Lord, would you do it again? Would you do the revival? Would you do the Hebridean revival? Would you do the Welsh revival? Would you impact our cities and towns and equip us and motivate us to be fired up, to be a part of that change? Lord, come do it again. So I think my prayer for any mums, dads out there, young people that are watching this, is that if you see something happening in your town, get involved. Like, the last thing we need is people standing off and saying, "Oh, hang on, this is my private little club."
Yes.
You go to some festivals and
Yes.
it's like, "Oh, there's stinky fish that are going to come in." I'm like, "Let them in, get them involved." Like, they're supposed to be there. We're supposed to
That's
disciple
right.
them. That's the key to revival and what's going to change this nation and the nations.
This
I'm
is
inspired.
so good.
I'm inspired.
God TV family around the world, there is so much more here at Big Church Festival. We're going to keep you inspired, keep you encouraged, but please pray for LZ7,
Yes.
pray for Lindz, pray for the extraordinary work that they are doing around the country. Anyway, from Carrie, myself, and Lindz, until next time.
Peace
Thank
and
you
love.
for being with us.
No worries.